You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.
So imagine that we're in a little log cabin. Yeah, and the snow swirling about. You can hear it hitting the window occasionally when the wind's in that direction. Maybe a wolf howling in the distance, and we're all snuggled up. Let's say some animal skins fake fur wrapped around us, and we're all three of us huddled together. We've got a roaring log fire, maybe a couple of red setters lying on the hearthrug, and we're just talking round, swapping tales, and it's all cosy and lovely. What do you think?
I don't know about the red setters, but
you're not keen on the red setters?
What are they doing in that situation? It's a bit random.
Can we get Andrew Garfield and Jesse Eisenberg in? They keep us warm.
No, I don't want that kind of a night.
I don't either, Frank,
I don't want a physical night. I just want a night of relaxing chit-chat.
Okay.
I don't want a physical night full stop with you two.
And we've got enough webs in the window. They haven't been cleaned up without Andrew Garfield coming and doing his radioactive squirting. Yes, I've said it. Oh, speaking of romance, I didn't tell you about my lovely Valentine's night last week.
Oh, go on. What did you do then?
Well, me and my girlfriend, we stopped in and we watched a Geert Wilders documentary about the anti-Islamist Dutch politician.
Lovely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you do it with candlelight in the background?
No, we had a flaming cross. It wasn't. I felt it sucked a lot of the romance out of the evening.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But weird hair as well.
I think she's got lovely hair, Kathy.
Oh, well. Maybe I'm wrong then. Oh, dear. So, and they've announced... did you see they announced that... was this a big deal that Prince Harry's going to be the best? I just assumed... Prince Harry would be the best.
Oh, do you know, if you're the sibling... I mean, if my sister hadn't have asked me... Ooh... I mean, that would not have gone down very well. I think it was assumed.
Were you the maid of honour?
Yeah. Don't you have to be a maid of honour? I think you have to be married to be maid of honour.
Do you?
And even... Yeah. So, no, I was
That's
bridesmaid.
odd, because maid usually suggests virgin, doesn't it?
Well, I couldn't possibly comment.
Well,
but
no. Think back.
I looked great. That's all you need to know.
Well, I'm sure I don't doubt that for a...
I wasn't.
And I got off with the best man.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Did you really?
I did. There's a lovely synergy.
Do you think Prince Edward will be at the...
He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed.
Do you think he'll be there?
Well, the thing was, the reason why it was a story, I think, is because usually when at royal weddings they call them supporters.
Yeah.
So, like, the man people who are with the groom are called his supporters.
The man people. I like the man. The man people.
The man people. What a great sci-fi BBC TV show that was.
So Prince Charles had his two brothers as supporters. Prince Edward had...
What, one on each ear?
Both brothers.
Oh, hold on, I've done a Prince Charles big ears joke. Didn't I not forbid that, not 2 weeks ago, and now here I am being hoisted by my own petard.
He's a man people, yeah?
Yeah, and Prince Andrew, he just had Edward.
As his man people?
Yeah, as his supporter. The man people.
I prefer man people.
But Harry apparently insisted on
James
being the best...
He won't be there.
Harry insisted on being called the best man.
Yeah, because he's sort of a bit of a lad, you know.
Yeah.
He's
They
a
like
fool,
him.
is what he is. He's a complete fool.
They like Tiny Tim.
Oh, don't you like Harry?
No, I don't like Harry much. I'll tell you, the trouble is, they're all right, the royal family, as long as you don't find out. I suppose he's sort of Jason Eisenberg with a lobotomy.
Oh, God.
Squinty. Bit squinty.
Well, it's best not to know too much about it. If you just see them as two blokes and they seem when you start reading around, for example, Pippa, right?
Oh, that's the sister, yeah.
That's the friend.
Her sister and confidant.
Yeah, so that's Kate. Yeah, Kate's confidant.
Yeah.
They call her the gatekeeper, which is like the supporter thing. She looks at.
Yeah.
It says that she'll be. This is what it said in the paper. She'll be looking after her dress and calming pre-ceremony nerves. What does that mean? Looking after a dress?
Oh, I don't know.
Beating rodents off it, keeping it free from nesting insects, that sort of thing.
So, and get this. This is an actual quote from the Mail. The ambitious Edinburgh graduate, this is Pippa.
Yeah.
The ambitious Edinburgh graduate has worked as a party planner and is employed. And is employed by her parents' mail order firm, Party Pieces, where she runs the online magazine Party Times. I think we're getting a picture of what this person is like. She's that most despicable of people who uses the word party as a verb rather than a
She's
noun.
a party person.
She sounds rather a good time girl, though, Frank.
You know, sometimes...
Doesn't sound like she's the person to guard the gate at all. She
No.
should be keeping the gate. She sounds like
She's going to
the
keep the gate
gates-
flung
yeah.
open.
That's what
Flings open the
she
gate.
is. Absolutely. I sometimes yearn for the golden age of beheading. So the royals don't find out too much or you'll start to hate them. When it said one of the stag party events, now get this, stag party,
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying stag party, is a shooting party on a friend's estate. Well, that's a real stag party probably,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's risky. Let's try and shoot the stag. That's not going to be
No.
good.
And also, or it could, maybe it's a council estate. They're just going to go out and shoot some poor people and put them in a skip.
Could be
Maybe
a triumph stag.
Could be a Triumph
Yeah.
stag. God, that takes me back. I knew a chap who had lovely canary yellow Triumph stag. What a car that was.
Yeah.
So,
Have you been a best man, Frank?
oh yeah.
Have you?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, you say it like it's a weekly occurrence in your life. Yeah.
I think I've done it 3 times.
You have not.
I have, yeah.
Do I know any of the people? Any of your family? Oh, Keith?
Nah. Oh, yes.
Oh, Keith.
I was. Yes, he gave me an engraved Zippo. I remember as my
Oh, excellent.
as my present. And
What did it say on it?
it had a West Bromwich Albion badge
Oh.
on it, and it said something like "Thanks, our kid."
That's good.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So that,
Yeah.
and it's still. I have to say that it's still lights, still ignites now.
Brilliant.
So I don't smoke, so I don't use
Yeah.
it that much. It's lasted longer than the marriage.
Zippos will last.
Yeah, so that's respect to Zippos. I did a mate of mine who got married for the second time.
Lovely.
I did.
One more?
Yeah, well, what was the other? Yeah, so I've done. I always use the same gag, to be honest.
Oh.
I always close on something I heard someone say at a wedding once, and I thought, oh, yeah, that's perfect. And I'll tell you what it is now, because I don't think I'll be doing any more best man work at my age. And it goes like this. You sort of say, look at all the lovely presents. So you set that up, lovely presents here today. I remember my granddad told me, he didn't, he died before I was born, but he told me through a medium. I remember he told, I don't do that bit because they don't want to think of it. It's a time of life and future thoughts. They don't want to think about death at the, Anyway, so I'll say, and he always said to me that him and me gran only got 2 presents on their wedding day. A flannelette night dress for her and a copy of the Holy Bible. And he's always said, if he'd lifted that Bible as often as he'd lifted that night dress, he'd have been the Archbishop of Canterbury. And I like it. I like it because there's a C of E element. I don't do a lot of C of E material. It's got that in it. It's got the word flannelette.
You've kept it biblical, which I like, and it's appropriate.
Biblical and...
A little bit blue, but not so much that it's
Not too
offensive.
much.
Well, I'm saying Formby-esque.
Yeah, I think you're right.
In fact, there is actually a George Formby song called My Granddad's Flannelette Nightshirt.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my... have you been a best man, Gareth?
When my brother got married, he had my other brother, Joel got married, and he had my good-looking brother as his best man.
Awkward.
So not only best man, but also best
You
brother.
don't want him as a best man, Frank. You don't want him in the church. That guy.
No, you don't want someone who's literally the best man.
In the whole world.
No.
You don't want him running amok at my wedding.
This is what happens, though, if you're that good-looking, right? His speech was... Look, I've been really busy at the moment. I've been doing my degree, so I haven't had time to write a speech. But
That's okay. He
all
doesn't
the
have to.
best.
You don't
Yeah,
have
no,
to if you
that's
look like that.
Women gave him a standing ovation. He actually caught the bouquet. Yeah, it's a big plus, the good looks. That won't be worrying anyone at the royal wedding, wouldn't it?
Well, Kate's quite good looking, isn't she?
Yeah, she's
Where
not
do you two stand on Kate?
Just on left shoulder, usually.
She likes a stretchy boot, doesn't she?
Does she?
A black stretchy boot, yeah. That sort of slowly.
What, on a limousine?
Well, apparently Prince Harry and Chelsea hid in a car boot to avoid being pictured together.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like a
It must have
stretchy
been a
boot.
big old boot.
They didn't allow for the old boot cam, which I set up in there some hours earlier. Yeah, it's a peculiar relationship. Now, is it on or is it off? I say, is it on or is it off?
I don't know.
They're not traditional in that sense, I don't think.
I worry she's not
The
going to age
the
very
gate
well.
is
that
always
one.
open, I think.
I think she's on the latch with Chelsea. That's what I think. Always on the latch. If he comes in late, he can always.
Yeah.
No, I'm a bit creeped out by Kate. I think she looks evil.
Oh,
Is that
evil.
okay to say?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's quite in at the deep end, okay, isn't it? Evil.
Is that against public feeling? I'm not sure.
No,
I just
well, I
think
don't.
there's something about her.
I don't know if she's at the stage. She's not our, she's not our Queen of Hearts,
No.
but
She's our queen of parties, is what she is.
yeah. Well, that's Pippa. I'm not
No,
saying
but
her
her,
sisters
her,
might be different.
her parents are the party planners.
Yeah,
I mean,
So
what
she's
kind of a-
descended from party planners.
She's-
Hence, she's queen of parties, Frank.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see
yeah.
that.
Well,
now.
I'm sure that was a big plus when choosing a bride because they had the reception sorted. Definitely.
She must be a bundle of nerves. I must have grown up with those party poppers going off.
Yeah.
Pop them in. Oh, God. I wouldn't want to live with that. And
Yeah, the Royals aren't going to like that. Bangs happening all over
No.
left, right, and centre.
No.
Let's not get on to that.
No. I don't quite get it, but I'm going with it.
I just
Sounds-
worry it might go in a direction that we might not
it
be happy
yeah,
with.
I'm not liking about it. I'm not liking about it. I might stick with that as a sentence.
Why
I'm
not?
not liking about it. I think that could be a Tiny Temper song title.
Yeah. CeeLo Green loves it.
The men people.
So, Frank, I'm about to move house at the moment.
Oh, you're finally you're taking
Finally
the
doing
plunge.
it, yeah. I'm sort of in between. I've got my eye on somewhere, but I'm not committed yet. But it means I'm going to be staying with my friends. I'm staying with my best friend Jane and her husband. So that's great, but now I've got to move all my stuff over there. And, I'm dreading it. I just can't be bothered.
You got to move it to the friend's house.
Well,
as
I'm putting it in storage, but I've also got all my clothes and makeup. And that's quite a significant
that's a
amount.
couple of warehouses.
Yeah.
And then there's the clothes.
That's more than my furniture. But I always remember you gave me some good advice recently. You said just get some men in and they'll do it all.
Yeah, but I wasn't talking about moving house. I was talking about the makeup. No, well, that's what I did. The last couple of times I've moved house, I just had breakfast, went out for the day, and then when I went home to a different house. And it was
And was
all there.
all your
Wow.
stuff just there? The men did it all?
They just go in, they wrap everything in white paper, which you can keep for the kids to draw on
Yeah,
when they come
lovely.
round. And it's all moved. You don't do a thing.
Brilliant.
I unpacked, I found some dirty crockery I'd left on the draining board.
From the morning?
They just wrapped it all up as well. They wrapped up, there was food wrapped up. They wrapped up closed packets of food.
Oh, I like the sound of them. I might be getting those men in, I think. It's the way to do it.
That sounds really nice. We always have to get really cheap men with a van to do it, and you have to go
Yeah,
in
you
the van
need a-
with
you
them,
need a
or
van.
you'll never see the stuff
So you have
again.
to go in the van with the
Yeah,
men?
like you have to go in the van with the men, or they'll
It's like
just
the
take-
A-team or
they'll-
something.
they'll
I'm not
just-
doing that.
They'll just take all your stuff.
I did that with David Baddiel. Was it? We moved. We were staying in this place in North London, Kilburn, North London. And, of course,
And then you upgraded.
Dave's inclination is to go cheap whenever possible. So we got these people and to move the stuff. They got the van. It was a sizable, big-ish van. Went out, it was half full of old tellies and stuff already. So there wasn't that much room for... So it took ages. They were hopeless. They broke stuff. They were rubbish, absolutely rubbish. We were sitting in the car and I said to one of them, I said, so what do you do? What's your normal job? He said, this. It was just a terrible silence. I couldn't believe they'd ever done it before in their lives. So it's a risk, people carrying your loved things around.
Well, that's it. But no, I think I'm going to get the men, Frank. I think that's what I'm going to do, and keep my stuff in storage. Go and see it, visit it occasionally.
We know this thing about Kate Moss. When she leaves a hotel, she picks up a handbag and goes, and then her assistants go in and pack everything and all that. It's that, if you can afford someone else to do it, especially in this age of, the cots. It's good to have other, you're giving people work.
Well, that's true. You've moved a lot, though, haven't you? You see, you're a past master. You're an old hand.
I have. There was a time I moved. I moved 7 times in 2 years.
Wow.
I was on the run.
Was that in the Birmingham area?
It's all in the Birmingham area, yes. But I tell you what's great.
Are you counting the Central Reservation as one of those locations?
No, I didn't take my belongings with me.
Okay.
I found it was a great way of deciding what you need in life and what you think you need. Because every time you move, I'd leave a few extra things behind. I actually got to that point in my life when I was about 30, 2 suitcases would contain everything I owned.
Really?
And that's quite exciting.
2 suitcases with my makeup, maybe.
Well,
don't know about the other stuff.
lucky, if that was the case. We had, didn't we have an email about, from Simon Wilkinson?
We did. We've had an offer for Emily.
Oh, love an offer.
Dear sirs, I note with interest that Emily suffers from an inability to get up when the alarm first goes off, and I wish to apply for the position of a human alarm clock. I expect the number of applicants will be very high, but I must surely be the strongest candidate, as I not only do I arise as soon as it's all fallen to pieces, as not only do I arise as soon as I hear the alarm, but I often stir before it goes off at all. Her awakening would therefore be to my dulcet Yorkshire tones, and not the jarring intrusion of an electric alarm.
Oh, but where will he be housed when he does this?
Well, this is what worries me. I think we know where he'll be housed.
It's a bit like Simon Wilkinson. He's no more than an opportunist.
He goes, my enthusiasm for the job would make for a very comfortable working environment, and I would bring with me a passion for the role and strong work ethic. I would even be happy to work overtime at the weekend should the need arise. Not only am I enthusiastic, but I have also been trained through marriage not to stray from my side of the bed, not to hog the duvet, and certainly not to expect the physicals. I can forward a CV if required, but would rather not provide references.
So is he married or is he formally?
Well, I'm assuming there might be a past marriage, perhaps.
Oh, there's been a rift.
There's been a rift.
the great schism.
Or divorce, possibly.
Well, I mean, I read that there might be more people working as servants over the next 4 or 5 years.
How marvellous. Yeah.
Because the government is encouraging richer people to take on
stuff. Really?
Yeah, honestly.
Really?
Honestly.
Because rather than have people on the dole...
People should get more staff. This will solve everybody's problem.
I'd rather go and be a bottler than...
I don't think you'd be a very good butler.
No?
No.
No, you think there'd be too much attitude.
Possibly.
Yeah, you might be right looking back. I don't think that the celebrity bottler's really an option. Maybe Stephen Fry. You think?
Oh, he already is one, isn't he? In fact, in the crisp advert, you call him Jeeves in a very disparaging manner.
Do I?
Yeah, you go, all right, Jeeves.
I haven't even seen the crisp advert.
Oh, do you know, I actually lolled at the crisp advert, I have to say.
You lolled?
I lolled.
Fainted.
Yeah.
No,
I did, it was funny.
On the subject of alarm clocks, when I did that TV show, The Bubble.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if I ever told you this, but I said I'm going to need an alarm clock because usually I use my phone as an alarm, and we weren't allowed to have our phone in there. We weren't allowed to have any contact. And the runner... the guy who, you know, in case anyone doesn't know, runner is the person who does just that. He does all the dog's body stuff. He said, "Okay, I'll get you one." He said, "You need to be up really about 8:30 tomorrow." I said, "Okay, fine." He said, "I'm going into town. I'll get you an alarm clock." I didn't give it any more thought. He never got me the alarm clock. I forgot about it.
What time did you get up?
8:30. You know why?
Why?
Because 8:30, he knocked on my door, and I said, "Come in," and he come in, he said, "Oh, I've got you that alarm clock." And he gave me the alarm clock at 8:30.
Wow.
When he'd woken me up.
He was a human alarm clock, like Simon here.
Well, yeah, except that he didn't... he didn't hog my duvet.
He didn't make comments about exactly the physicals and the side of the bed.
He didn't turn my top blanket back. I'll tell you that.
I mean, imagine if he just slept in the bed and that's all he was, an alarm. No relationship, no conversation as such.
Well, how does he wake up?
Oh, that's a good point. He'll have to have an internal alarm. Oh, there'll have to be someone on the other side. I'm not putting up with that.
He'll have to have...
It's a never-ending bed.
No, exactly. If he's got an alarm clock on his side so he can wake you up, though, I mean, I think you can eliminate the middleman.
Well, that's true.
So maybe we should get a servant each. Help the unemployment.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't mind a sleeve aimer.
A sleeve aimer? What's
You know
that?
when you want to put your coat on and somebody holds your coat, you put your arms up, they aim the sleeves so your arms go in. I love that.
Oh, like in a posh restaurant.
Sometimes in a restaurant that'll happen, yeah. And or if you're trying coats on, coats.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love that.
That's all gone a bit Queen speech, King speech.
Some sort of a
That was
valet.
no reference to Colin Firth.
Some sort of a valet would be great. A great addition. Can you imagine, though, just like the royal family have, like Prince Charles, like someone choosing your clothes for you every morning, Frank? Imagine how nice that is.
I don't know if I'd like that. Do they lay them out for you the night before?
Yeah. Well, you
I'd
do
love
that
that.
anyway, don't you? Make the strange man on the chair.
Yeah, I met the man on the chair. I don't know if I'd want someone else choosing my clothes, especially the sort of person who'd be a bottler would have me I'd look like Diary of an Edwardian Lady. I'd be all right when we get my penny farthing, you know.
I'd like someone to brush my teeth for me. Really good.
I'd want someone to do that while I'm still asleep.
Yeah. So you wake up and just minty fresh.
What about those things you get in men's toilets that you chew that clean your teeth? Have you seen those, like plastic?
yeah.
Oh, the little spearmint balls.
Yeah, you could keep one of those on the bedside table. Wouldn't that make life a
Yeah.
little bit easier?
Maybe.
They don't get into all the crevices, though.
And you're doing someone out of a job. That's what you're
Well,
gonna think.
personally, I just leave my teeth on the bedside table.
So I was on the train this week, as I mentioned on the show.
You are on the train a lot.
I've been on the train a lot in the last couple of weeks.
Have you got a day job for South East Rail?
That's a good.
He'd be a good train guard.
I might as well.
Well, you like trains as well.
What
Love a
flavours?
train.
What flavours have you got?
Particularly.
You know when they say crisps, what flavours have you got? They go. They have a look. They don't know in advance. They have to have a look at the flavours on the trolley. I can do that.
You can. And then you'll
There's no
go,
prep.
shut up, Jeeves.
There's no prep, though. is there?
Shut it, Jeeves.
No, I asked the other day because I wanted to Barocca, so I just wanted a cup, and I've bought loads of stuff from those men who come round with the trolleys. And so I said, "Could I just have one of your plastic cups?" And he said, "No,
You're joking.
no, they're just for the drinks."
Well, in fairness to him...
I was angry for the rest of the journey.
No.
Go on, defend him. Go on,
No,
defend
what
him.
did you want to use the cup for?
To have a drink.
Exactly, but you hadn't
did-
bought the drink off him.
Yes, but I've bought drinks before.
He doesn't
I
know
did-
that.
I
Do they
didn't-
sell Barocca?
How does
Everyone,
he...
I'm a customer. I've spent 40 quid or whatever to go on the train.
What difference does it make to him? It's not his stupid
No, I'm on
cock.
his side. I'm on his side.
Cup man.
I'm totally on his side. He can't... Okay, let's say we follow your
Okay.
rule. He then goes out giving cups willy-nilly to every person on
Oh
that
yeah,
train.
because everyone will want a cup. Not
It's
everyone.
the thin
wants
end of the wedge. And then he's got no cups left for proper patrons like me who will pay for the drink.
Just wanted a cup.
One cock.
Anyway,
all it was.
and I was cross for the rest of the journey. But something very exciting happened.
On the train.
Let's.
What,
tone that-
more exciting than that?
Let's tone it way down. Something happened on the train this week, and there were two sort of, I would say, there were two ladies sitting in front of me.
Two sort of, I would say, ladies. What were they, strumpets?
Grace and Perry.
Yeah, Grace and Perry and Les Dawson. Two sort of, I would say, ladies.
I was trying to describe them in a polite way. They were female, but you've basically nailed it.
Okay.
What?
Richard Keys. Did you nail it?
They were gossiping, and I was watching The Sopranos.
Oh, because ladies do tend to gossip.
Yeah, they were
we love a
gossiping.
soap and we love a gossip.
They were gossiping. I'm
Love
just
a
not
gossip.
saying, all
And you
people
were
do it.
watching, like, men shooting each other. So that makes
Yeah.
you all male and strong.
And I'd actually paused it for a moment because someone had just been bludgeoned in the head, and I was worried about people behind me seeing it. So I'd stopped it for a moment. But I was
They
still,
probably asked for a plastic cup.
I was wearing the headphones, so they didn't know. But they were talking, and they were talking about a particular lady, and then they said.
A real lady or
A real
another
lady.
make-up one?
A real lady.
Okay.
And they said, and they were saying things about her, disparaging things.
What sort of thing?
And they said,
For example?
they
Yeah.
were questioning her lifestyle in a number of ways. I can't give too many details.
Okay.
And then they said, and apparently she used to live next door to, and said my mum's name. And they mentioned my actual mum.
Wow.
And they must have been going back to Bournemouth. I think they must work in the same place as my mum works.
Right.
And I was overhearing this conversation.
How exciting.
So I know.
I'm disappointed it wasn't actually about your mum, and they weren't being rude about your mum.
Didn't
What are you saying about my mum?
Wasn't there a short digression when they said negative and derogatory things about your mom?
No, they really didn't say anything about my mum, which was why I definitely, I stopped completely. But then, I was listening in then.
What if
completely to what they were saying.
they'd said something derogatory about your mom? Would you have spoken up, or would you have just listened?
Well, the thing was...
Do you have a record facility on the laptop?
That's what I should have
That's a
done.
good
That would
idea.
have
I
Frank.
definitely have on my phone. But I think when you take the step of recording other people's conversations...
Yeah, but
the
if
thing
they're
was...
talking about your mum, I'm sure that there isn't a jury in the country that would convict you for that. Your own mother? No, you were well within your rights.
So,
Do
but
you know the neighbour in question?
I do, and the truth is that she doesn't actually live next door to my mum. She lived next door to us, but there must have been some crossed wires.
Hold it. Hold it. She doesn't live next door to your mum, but she
No.
lives next door to you.
She lived near us. Let's not say directly next
Oh,
door.
no, she didn't live directly
okay.
next door, okay.
Okay.
Are you
But-
changing names to protect the innocent?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing my best.
Is it old Ma Sullivan?
Is it old Ma Baker? Does she?
She knew how to die.
Is she a horrible woman?
I don't think so. I think she's quite nice.
So they were being
But,
vindictive,
But
unnecessarily.
they were saying they had questions about her personal life, about her arrangements.
Did they suggest
I
that
really
she had...
don't.
Did she have a human alarm clock?
Yes,
I think they were suggesting that, Frank.
I think that's probably the case, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you
And
just...
so suddenly I'm in surveillance of these women.
Were you making notes? You just typing furiously as they spoke. Like being
Sorry,
some sort of court stenographer.
Sorry, I
Except they were the ones who were caught, if you received my meaning.
Sorry, could
I
you
love
repeat
the
that,
idea of
please?
Gareth being in surveillance.
You know when they did that?
It was like the lives of others all of a sudden.
It's like Quincy.
And after 10 minutes in, one of them says, "Can you read that back to me?
Yeah.
Yours, etc." Okay.
But what I realised was as soon as I started listening, I started getting the giggles. Or laughter was because if I'm concealing something, I just can't help it. I'm the worst liar in the whole world. I just was gonna giggle, and luckily they stopped talking about my mum, and moved on.
So they
but-
did talk about your mum. You said they didn't
Well,
dwell.
they mentioned my mum. They
my
said apparently,
God.
well, she used to live next door.
Yeah, but what did they mean by that? As if that's just to
because-
live next door
because-
to her is some sort of...
It was it was further information that they'd got about her, the lifestyle in question.
Okay. Did your mum ever hear the human alarm clock through the wall in the morning?
You saw him come and go. But I would be the worst spy in the whole world because in that situation I was just going to laugh in their faces because they were talking about something. The tension of the situation that I was
But you
hearing
didn't laugh in
something.
their
No,
faces.
I didn't actually because they moved on.
Well, I think they moved seats. Some sniggering fool sitting on the other side staring at them, clearly eavesdropping.
and also, I
And
didn't
drinking Barocca out of his cocked hands. I mean, would you stay sitting next to that person? Not
And in
I.
a terrible sulk.
You're very
He would have
lucky
gone
now,
into
because
sulk.
the amount of times people have accidentally caught... You know when you get bomb-dialed?
What?
Oh, yes, I know what you mean.
When you just sort of sit on your own phone or lean on it and it rings someone. I've had
Yeah.
that loads of times.
Yeah.
And all I've ever heard is... I've never heard anything interesting,
Do you know what I hear?
derogatory.
Because I have a lot of lady friends. I hear click, click, click of high heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that.
Oh, okay.
Through
Well,
the courts.
No, I never hear anything interesting at all. I'm not-
I love catching someone talking about you, though. Oh, I love that.
Oh, exciting.
Oh, it's my favourite. It doesn't happen very often.
Examples.
Well, sometimes, like in a work situation, I do a thing. Only if I think someone's been talking about me, I'll just stick my head round and go, hello, like that, just to shock them. But I always know when they have.
Aha!
Well, I do that things. If I'm walking behind someone, I'll always say, I'm just behind you, so don't slag me off. And they always look guilty then, like I know I've caught them just before they were about to.
Oh, you said that to me before. I wasn't, honestly.
Okay. But I never get the giggles.
Don't you?
Do you not a giggler at all?
Not at all.
Don't you,
I can't
Frank?
remember the last time I had that kind of uncontrolled laugh thing.
What about if someone's, like, in the theatre, I get it. If it's a bad show, or if I'm not meant to be laughing... It's something about because there's the human performer sitting in front of me and I just can't stop laughing. If someone's got a bad accent or something. I had it quite recently. Don't you ever get that?
No. I went to the Big Chill once. You know the Big Chill at Music Festival? And,
Raymond Chandler book.
Pardon?
Is that a Raymond Chandler book?
Sleep.
That's the one.
And this guy was showing me how to use a buggy for riding round on. And he got on it, and it went out of control. And it went over someone's tent. And we were in the family section. We were in the family section. It was quite early in the morning. Well, Kath, I looked around to Kath, my girlfriend. She'd gone.
Yeah.
She'd actually gone into someone's unoccupied tent. She was laughing that much that she had to hide from it. She'd gone into a tent to laugh. Yeah. And this guy... So these people came out the next tent, and it turned out that he was a DJ, this guy, and this tent that this fellow was riding on, driving his buggy on. And the thing is, he had the wheel lock, so it was just going round in a circle on the tent. And all the DJ's equipment was in there. And he was going around in this small circle, so the tent was getting ever more flattened. And this DJ, I remember this DJ saying, will you stop driving on our tent? And he said, I can't stop it. And then I found, because he was genuinely distressed and they were distressed, I must admit, I did struggle a bit with that. But honestly, I can't think of another example where I've had... you get it a lot.
I get it
You always get it. You get it during this show a lot.
You do, I mean, scratching Fanny, I thought you was going to... I thought you was going to keel over.
Yeah.
Scratching Fanny, you headed straight for the door.
Yeah, no, the tension of not being supposed to laugh. But that was just, I was really laughing because it was funny. But it's more when, you know, the terrible nightmare of not being supposed to laugh in a situation and then it welling up inside you. It's just a terrible
I had a
affliction.
friend who said if anyone ever told him that someone had died, his first thought was, what if I laugh now?
Yeah.
And then he would feel it start to happen.
Yeah.
And that doesn't go down very well.
No, bad news, I will smile.
Yeah.
I will do an awkward smile because...
Oh, by the way, you're fired.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Working towards a mintier world with Treebor Soft Mints.
Absolute.